All right. As we continue working on the bows, a couple of things that I wanted to do. I got a little carried away with some of my cutting last night on the bandsaw. So you can see I did get my tapers done, but I wanted to come back as I was cutting these out. I wanted to maybe clarify a little bit more about this center line and some of the different ways of doing it, because I did do a chalk line and I did do it with a ruler. But as I was working on it, one of the things that I noticed is I had some flexible metal rules, as well as even when you get your strips, you can essentially clamp this on. So I had a bunch of things clamped down using the spare pieces and so forth in order to draw that center line, because it is pretty important that you keep track of that. The other thing that I wanted to come in and demonstrate again was as I'm working on my lengths. So right now it is cut to be at 68 inches. I'm not sure if I really want that or not, but I could do that where I'm at now. I do mark out every 8 inches or so. You could do every 6, every 12, whatever you're comfortable with. Last night I just felt like doing the number 8. And with that I go through and then I also mark my widths. That also gives me kind of balance, if you will, from the top versus the bottom and so forth. So that is also a nice way to kind of keep track, and as I'm sanding and shaping, it gives me a little bit more symmetry from the mathematical standpoint. Then also my center line, it does help me keep track of, you know, as I'm cutting out my shelf for that relief, where do I go? And as a matter of fact, when I cut it on the bandsaw, that's actually the first cut I make, is the shelf as I cut into the saw, and then I'll come back and then work the relief off to the side. I'm still debating. I may make it a little bit taller. I may make it a little bit more off to the side. As I was looking at it, I can see that my 1.75 inches might be a little thick. I think next time I'll do it 1.5 inches, which then will directly match with the laminates that come from the company. So those were some of the things that as I was cutting away, I thought maybe I should come back and chat with or chat about real quick so that you get an idea. Now I'm to the point where as I'm gripping, I'm starting to draw pictures or lines around my fingers as to the grips, so that I know exactly how I'm going to custom form my hand onto this bow. Again, that's part of custom boiler making. So yeah, come in here and start really working on what feels good, how you're going to sand this handle down. So mine's a little thick. I may bring that middle portion down just a little bit, have it flare out, and then come back. So we'll do a little bit more work at the house, and then I'll come back and we'll show some more.